Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to this series. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at this diagram here. Before now, just showing you how to just build Docker locally for that React application we've got. But today, I feel like it's important for us to have like an overarching picture of what we will be practicing. I mean, something that will be like similar to like an end goal for this GitLab series. Well, if you look at this diagram here, guys, you would see, actually, let's take this. So I'm going to take this, probably let's take a pen. So if you look at this now, what the overall thing we're hoping to achieve in this series will be a programmer, that can be a developer or whatever, just pushes up his code to a GitLab repository somewhere, and then that code will then be pulled, and then it will be pulled here. This is what we've been seeing up until today. But what we will see today is where the GitLab Pipeline Series, which actually runs within the runner per se, would actually just run that job. And then, especially today, we'll be like running that Dockerized React application that is within the NGINX web server, and then push this application to image registry somewhere in the, well, for today we'll just use the GitLab registry, so that will just be in the same ecosystem. But we can also swap this to like push it to something like a Docker registry that is publicly available. But what I've done now is that I have made this repository like public, so, and it's attached on this video, so you can actually go and check it out actually. So our lesson today will be like to build this image and then push it up to this GitLab registry. So you can kind of see now, up until now, we're able to clone, we're able to build the code, and then we're able to actually Dockerize the application. We've done that locally. We're going to now do that on a pipeline and then actually push it to a registry. And then these here are the things that will follow over time. So let me write it here. So these are the things that will follow as we go along in this series. But for today, this is where we would end up now. Okay, so let's dive in and actually just get our hands dirty. Right, let's go here and just I'm just gonna exit out from here. I'll just cancel it out completely. So let's go in and actually just pull our code out. I'm just going to go here, bring up our thing, and I'm going to open up that repository. So I'm going to go to so it's called pipe, I think pipe basics. Just get into it. Right, so here we are. I'm just going to open up what we got in the previous class. There you go. So here it is. So as you can see now, we moved off the old GitLab CI/CD YAML file. So let's create a new one today. Call this whatever you want. Obviously, I think it's still warning. Yeah, there you go. So maybe just keep it this way, but you can kind of know that this is the old one. It is old. I decided to leave them for some of those basic things we've done. So let's get on with a new one today. So let's create a file. Actually, I'd like to do this from command line, so I'll just do just to see what it is. I'll just then get it. So I'll just say touch, and I'll say .gitlab cicd ci.yaml. Press and enter. That file is now recreated. So our target today, as we said, is to actually take this Dockerize file here that we made in the previous class and just build it on a GitLab pipeline as we did, and then just push it up to a registry. So let's go and do that. So the first thing we do in this is to actually declare the stages. For the first stage, we actually for today will be like one stage, to be honest. The stage would be obviously in real world you would have like length and build and things like that, but for today, actually let's just say it's going to be build. So now that build can be like a lot of things. It can be like build app and all of that, but just for now we'll just keep it that simple. So build this. The next thing you want to do is to obviously then go and build out this stage, isn't it? So for now, let's build it out. So if we are building out this stage, it will really be simple. So we might just say build, let's say build push to GitLab or let's say build push to registry. So let's give it this cool name here. So once we've done that, we have a stage here. Just remember to tab. There you go. So once we tab, what we're going to do here is to, the first thing is actually just today I want us to use before script as we discussed. So the first thing we want to do is to, I mean, you can echo this out if it helps you, but I don't really care about it. So the first thing I want to do today is to actually log in, because for you to actually do anything, you need to be able to access that registry. And for GitLab Pipeline Registry, to log into it is just you're going to use something called as Docker login, just literally the same way we did locally. So Docker login -u, and this time around you're going to just actually bring the user details. GitLab gives you this details, one of the predefined variables in GitLab that we discussed. So here, if you say something like CI underscore registry here, you will see a registry username. So that will be injected automatically for you by GitLab. And then password as well, GitLab gives you that for free as well. So here you can say CI underscore registry, and then you see the password. You can select this really as well. Okay, so that's that. This actually would actually log you in onto the registry. And once that is done, the next thing you need to do, obviously I'm doing that as a precondition. You can keep all of them in the same place, doesn't really matter. But oh, sorry, so just do that, press an enter here. So the next thing I really want to do is to, this time around, is, as you can see here, that this is in a different directory. So whenever GitLab starts, it's on this home, it's on this like root parent directory. So we need to like cd into this place here. So let's do that. So what I would do is to copy that name so I don't make a mistake. So what would I need to do? I would need to say here cd into this directory. There you go. So I'll just do that. Once I've gone in there, the first thing that I like to do just to like speed up the pipeline is to actually pull the existing image if there are. But if it is for the first time, it wouldn't be able to pull anything. So what I would do is to actually just go there and just say, let's write the code. I would say git pull, docker pull, and I would say whatever the name that I've given it for now. Let's just give it any random in the registry. Obviously, just do know that GitLab gives you that registry by default. In fact, before we continue this, can I show you here on a GitLab? So if you go to GitLab registry, in case you don't know where it is, here is build. And then if you go to this one, is secure. There are other things here, but here, what we want to target today is this container registry. GitLab's got it already. This container registry is where, when you're doing a code, is pushing it here. Here is the code that I just wrote. Docker login gives you the username. This is the registry. GitLab will give you the rest of the things automatically. And this Docker registry, actually, I think we skipped it. Let me just put it before I forget and things will fail. GitLab also gives you this registry directly. So here, if you do $ and do CI underscore registry here, GitLab gives you this as well. This registry is actually this registry here, and then it's a -u for username, -p for password. GitLab gives you those as well. And then the next one is to do Docker build and then Docker push. But this is the full path to this repository, as you can see. So it just takes this path, the path at the top here. But then rather than saying gitlab.com, registry is like a different instance hosted somewhere else. It is hosted on registry.gitlab.com / your the path to your group path, and then the repo itself, and then whatever it is that comes with it. So you can see this is what it is. It is standard. But then this can also be determined by GitLab. There's a predefined variable for this as well. The predefined variable is called, if I go here, it is called as, so when I want to pull this now, you can pull it and just call it, because it gives you this. This is CI underscore here, registry here. So if I say registry image here. This is it here. So GitLab gives you this by default. You don't have to type this. Well, when you push this, you might want to push more than one images here as well, because one repository can like house more than one Docker file, so you can kind of push them here. So to do that, what people result in doing is to, like, let's say for instance we're doing React, we can just call this one, let's say for instance this is the UI, and if you do the API you can also do that. So you will just push it, the registry name /UI here to pivot it here. But the best practice actually, so once you have this, I'll show you the best practices in a minute, but once you have it this way, what we now do is you pull this in, because this is what it will be, latest. And as we said, if you pull it for the first time, it will fail, it will just crash off. To avoid crashing off, we'll then pass through. So it will check it. If it's not there, we'll just pass through and pass and go. But hey, as you can see, this is quite lengthy. So some people, especially myself, just to optimize the pipeline, what I do is to just cut this, because these are two variables now, two variables. What I like to do is to create a variable here and then keep it there. So I'll just go here and say variables, press and enter. So the first thing I'll keep, I'll just give it a name. I can say web, let's say web container registry, or I'll just say web registry. Just give it a simple name, web registry, if that spelling is correct. I'll just do it that way. So initially, once it's spinning up, it will just find this web registry here, and then so what I'll do is I'll just get rid of this whole thing here like that. Then obviously if you want to refer to it, you still need to put $1 here. So this will refer to mine. This is now shorter. At the initialization, you just create this quickly and get things moving quickly. Okay, so that's the first thing I will need to do, just to shorten this. And what did I say? So this is just to pull previously built and existing pushed image from registry. Just this step 15 is for optimization. Really, it's not really for anything. You can lose it if you really don't want, but it just pulls it down. So the next thing we now do now is to build this image. So you can take this argument here, but let's edit it. I also found that this autocomplete is putting me in trouble. Sometimes it just types things that I don't really want. So what I'll do, I'll just improve this now. So because I have pulled down any existing, in case there is, I'll just build this from cache as well. So it's kind of optimized way of doing things. I'll say cache from. Now that I've done that, now cache from. So I will now say, where do I want to do that? Well, I want to do that from this latest. So I'll just take this tag out for the time being. So I want to build this from this registry that we got here. Latest, that's the latest that I want to build from, and I'll tag it again. So we say that you can do tag again, the same thing. So here we just paste that, which is web registry name, and then again, so I mean, you can, this is going to this is the latest. I mean, the same again. What GitLab recommend is you just have two. One is the latest thing. Obviously, everybody recommend that actually. And the second one will be like a fully tagged and version one. GitLab people usually just use GitLab's CI commit SHA. So this is CI underscore commit SHA. It will be somewhere here. If I'm getting the right one, actually let's type it in full. So this is commit SHA. Yeah, there you go. So they just use commit SHA. If it's too long, you can just use the short one, but this is the one I like to do. So we'll just tag it with this one, and then again we'll tag the same thing with the latest. So as you can see here, this one is we're building this image from the latest we pulled and then build. So what happens is the layer that is up to date will not be built again. It will just reuse from the existing one, and that's the trick here. So this is the tag one, the first tag. Second tag would be, so say tag, oh sorry, small letter, tag here. Then I'll just do $ again, and I'll just do that the same, but this time around it wouldn't be commit SHA. I'll just do latest as well, because the latest is where you always build things. latest. Yeah, there you go. And then now I need to specify the file where the Docker file would is coming from. So remember that we already done cd into this place. So the Docker file is this one here. So we just copy that. So I just copy the whole thing and I just put it here. So here, sorry if I go back, this is -f, and I'll say -f will be this file, and then the context will be just dot, because already we would be inside this place. It's quite simple really. And then we'll just go to the next one. So the next one will really be simple, just to if it's successful, please push it up. So push the first one. It's going to push just the same thing here with the commit share, and then we just push the latest as well. So I'll just do push the latest. There you go. So this is that easy, as easy as this. But hey, there's something that is very something that is missing that you can kind of tell. So what is that? It is the fact that GitLab, for GitLab to run and to do anything Docker, it would have to run what is called as Docker in Docker, which means, because what I'm trying to say is that if we go inside this place now and just go to find the runner, so this is the repo. If we go and find the runner somewhere, wherever it is, I'll go to CI/CD and then find these runners here that would actually just run the job. Remember, I said that these are like instances. They are just more like machines. But these days, GitLab use Docker to do these things so that it will be cheaper. So they can just like spin up one EC2 instance machine in AWS and just spin up like 1 million Docker. So that gives you 1 million instances, isn't it? So because these are Docker, and then you also build in Docker, it is not possible. But they have actually come up with a way of doing that, which is called Docker in Docker concept. That is how they do that. So what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is that we will need to create variables and tell GitLab how to actually just know that these things are there. So the first thing is we declare the image. There is a special image that is used to do that. That image is called Docker. It is just this image that it will use by default. So this Docker has 2004 version, so the 0.5. This is the image that it will use. After this image, it will use a service, and this service is kind of like a sidecar, which means I can actually just explain this much better later. So it's like you have like a Docker running. You can't run a Docker within Docker, so you spin up another Docker parallel to the other one and then network them together so they can just use each other's resource. And that's what this service is. It's kind of really like a kind of a sidecar. So what we're going to do now is to actually name this. So the name for this is the name of the image that we will use. The image itself is still the same as this. So people call it, but then we call it DIN. So this DIN means Docker in Docker. So this is it, 2004.0.5. I think this is the latest one now. There are other like older versions. You can just go and find those ones, but if you have something that is latest, it's fine. So alias as well. I mean, I like to leave it as DIN as well, DIN there. So this gives a capacity for GitLab to be able to actually build or process Docker actually. So Docker is an interesting technology, but also it takes like some values as well. So the values you need to pass to this service, for this service to run, there are two key variables that are really important. The first one is the Docker host. So here we just need to pass Docker host. So what is the host? Because when this service is spun up and it wants to connect with the actual runner, it will need to know where the host is. Well, this is like saying really doesn't really change. So it's TCP, the protocol it will communicate with is TCP Docker colon 2375. I'm just being careful to avoid making a mistake. Once you make mistake there, that's it, really won't work. Well, the other thing that people do, you can do this Docker TLS, but I really don't think it's important now. The next thing that really matters for Dockering 2024 is the TLS side directory. So here, TLS, Docker TLS, sat directory. I meant to say sat there is the what it is. So here, this sat there is where the certificate directory is located within. So here, you can just locate it here. It doesn't really matter. So just make sure that the spellings for these two especially are correct. Otherwise, things will fail. This is sat there. Yeah, it is fine from what I can see. Right, and then this one is fine. These are the two important things that actually enables you to run a Docker in Docker, and that's it really. So I think the next thing we need to do now is to go and actually run this job and see what is going to happen, guys. Let's go and run it. Thank you. Okay, let's check in and see. So go here and just do git status, git okay, yeah, so we rename things, isn't it? So git add everything up, git commit, and then here I'll just commit this and just saying Docker images in pipeline. Okay, press and enter. And there you go. So now we do the git origin main, press enter, and we can just go and have a look. So now that this is pushed up here, we will just go to CI. So let's go to build. Let's go to pipeline and see if things are happening. There you go. So this is happening. Click on it, and then we wait for this to actually load. Thank you. You guys, this is finished now, and we found that there is this crashed out. So let's find out why that has happened. So what I found is that when I was typing, I just found out that there is this host. I just mistakenly typed EE here. So this is something you shouldn't do. So talking typing is not really a small job. So let's also check other things just to make sure that we're correct. Everything else looks okay for me now. So let's check in again and see what happens. So just do git add, and then we do git commit, and then we push it up again and see. So pushing up this now, and then let's go to this and see how it is running. So let's go here again, and then let's wait for it. It will take a few minutes again, but we can just pause it for a minute. It's finished again, so you can see now here it echoed this out, and then it logged in here. This is login succeeded, and then it went on to change directory into that place, and it tried to pull this out, and it said there's nothing. Now that there's nothing, it wouldn't fail, it would just proceed. But as it proceeded to the next one, you see that, hey, this place now, so if I zoom this out a little bit, you can see that I couldn't even spell cache, which is obviously again talking typing. So but here, if you look at this now, you can see that we couldn't spell cache here. So again, we need to check in and see what's happening. So I hope this is the last mistake we're going to make. Let's check in, add, let's commit this, and then let's push this to the remote registry, and then have a look again quickly. And here we go, and we go to our pipeline again, and it's running, and I will come back in a few minutes just to have a look. Okay, so this the build is complete now. So let's go back through to the whole log. So as you can see, this is the GitLab runner, spun up here, and then the Docker in Docker image is pulled down. Once it was pulled down, it would be obviously set up, and then set up the network as well, as the sidecars we talked about, and I will just fetch the changes from the Git. And once these changes are pulled, then it will just go ahead and just echo. You remember the first thing we said here on the code, we said echo would just be to echo this thing out, and it would just log in. So let's go back in, and it would just log in here. Login succeeded, and it go and then change directory, and it will just pull the latest. But as you can see, there's an error because there won't be anything to be pulled. But luckily we're passing through, so it doesn't fail, because as we said the first time, it wouldn't see anything, it would just fail. But it wouldn't actually, this true will just come in. This is like OR statement, and then it will just go and build. So this will build from scratch. So here's the command again. Just it says docker build --cache from, and then we just build from this. If there was none, it would just build what it has, right? Once you can see, so the building is taking place of the image that we created the other day. It does take time to build React. It just built the React thing, and then it will start to build the NGINX thing, copy it, and then okay, this is the building of the React. Then now it will then start to push this to, so the first tag we have is /UI. The first tag is going to do is the commercial, CI commercial, and then it will show you that. So it will just push different layers. So here is preparing, this is waiting, and then this is now pushed. It will just push them layer by layer, and these are the layers that will be pulled down if you build a second time. So you can just speed up this job. As I was saying, you just push it and you just give it the SHA number. Okay, so the second one we say just the latest. You just do the same thing again, just repeat the whole thing, but then this time around it will just be tagged as latest. So let's go and have a look on our thing where this is deployed. So here is the container registry that we talked about. Yeah, hooray, there you go. So it has two tags. So the first one will be latest, second one will be with the commercial. So you can see these two images now are into what we discussed or we described. So that will bring this edition here that we talked about to the end. So here we've pushed up this code. We've just written a code for this runner to actually just build and push up here. So obviously during deployment, we can write Terraform. Terraform, obviously with time, Terraform will then go and create this array, like resources. An example here would be like an EC2 machine, do the networkings and port opening and ingress and all of that. And then it will just pull from here, probably like something with Compose for now, and then just deploy, make things available, and then we can see the web application running. And here is what it will look like. So this is what we will journey across. Thank you.